All right. So I'm shooting video at this very moment.
Awesome. Maybe we'll get famous on one of your videos.
Yeah. The neat thing about this camera, it gets everything in sight except for the pole.
That's amazing.
The pole disappears in the video.
That's
ideal.
So when I'm editing the video, I can choose to focus on me paddling the kayak. I can focus on the boat going away. I can focus on you.
Yeah.
Anything in sight, I can choose as the focal point.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a neat camera. It's called an Insta360. Yeah.
I have some friends in Salt Lake who are pro snowboarders.
Ah.
And they're sponsored by that company.
Aha.
And they've done a lot of the commercials for them.
Oh, neat. Well, I'll have to see if they might want to sponsor me.
Yeah, you should.
Honestly, you should.
Yeah. So, okay, so this is the tidal creek, and we're just about at slack tide right now. So the water's not moving much. The wind is moving. But when we turn a little bit to the right, you're going to start to see the mound ahead of us. But it won't be until we turn to the left that you'll see the full height of the mound. Now, up until now, we've been seeing mangroves, lots of mangroves, and most of them are the red mangroves. Like over there, you can see the red of that aerial root, and that's what gives it the name red mangrove. But up at the top of the mound, up ahead of us, you can see a totally different kind of a tree sticking up.
Yeah, right in the middle there.
Yeah, and the one that's kind of domed on the right and the one to the left of that central tree that's kind of domed, those are the gumbo limbo trees. And you'll see gumbo limbos when you go to the Keys. It'll only grow on high ground where it's up above the saltwater. So the early settlers would look for the gumbo limbo, and they knew it was high ground and that would be a good place to build a home. And the reason it's growing here is they're growing on the Calusa Indian shell mound. And we're starting to see the mound right now. And like I said, the hurricanes of the last 10 years, here, let's go over to the right, all the way over this way, so we're not in the way of the boat. You're on video. So do you all have press agents? You know, just send me your information. I'll make sure the royalties get to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, I'll see you later, Will. Okay, so the tide is starting to come in now. You can see it's flowing the same direction as us. Now you do a little bit of backpedaling, paddle backwards to stop your kayak, and back up toward me a little bit if you can. Yeah, you're going to have to keep paddling or you're going to be in the mound. Backpedal on your right and you'll turn this way. There you go. Well, tell you what, go ahead and paddle over this way fast so you don't end up in that snag ahead of you. Paddle on your right hard. You don't want to be in those trees over there.
Yeah.
Paddle hard, hard, hard. There you go, there you go. Okay, and let's go over this way a little bit, and we'll do a little just a very short kayaking lesson. We'll go over here into this calm water over here,
Oh, right on here.
so we're out of the currents.
We just go on and we gotta get squeezed.
All right. So as I mentioned, the person in the back has the main control.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not just forward strokes. If all you use for steering is the forward stroke, you're going to be in trouble. You need the backward stroke too.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, if I want to turn to my right, I'll put my paddle behind me on the right and bring it forward. And you can see I immediately turn to the right. And if you combine that with a forward stroke, you can sit in one place and go in circles. So the backward stroke is very, very effective. In order for us to get a good view of the mound, it would probably be easiest for us to face into the current. We'll face that way. And if you start getting too close to it, that's on your left. So to turn to your right, backstroke, forward stroke. Okay, like that. Here, come turn around so you're next to me. And I want to point out a couple of features for you to look at. All right, so you can see the gumbo limbo is taller than all the other trees around. And when we get closer, you'll see why the locals call it the tourist tree. That's because it has red peeling skin like a lot of tourists. Yeah. But looking at the mound itself, if you look a little bit to the right of center, you can see a dark horizontal line in the mound. And that's about midway up, and this mound is about 2,000 years old. So that indicates a hurricane about 1,000 years ago. And when the hurricane came through, the mound was only at that height. And the storm surge washed completely over the top of the mound and left about a 3-inch layer of silt and sand on top of the mound. Then after the hurricane passed, the Calusa continued to live their lives and eat the oysters and pile the shells up. And that left that dark line in the mound. It's like a time capsule.
Did you say it was how far is this land? Like you said, it was how far?
It's in a horseshoe shape, and to go from here all the way to here is about a mile.
Okay.
I took some people to walk it about a year ago, and it took us 40 minutes to go all the way from one point to the other. And it's a clear trail. It's not a difficult trail. We can land on it and walk it if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd love to.
All right. So anyway, you see the line I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, that, and then about a foot and a half below it, you can see another line that's not quite so distinct. That's another hurricane. So this mound is a time capsule. And where you see that green tree right on the edge, directly below it and to the right, about 10 or 12 feet, there's a dark spot in the mound. That's from an ancient campfire. Yeah. So in just a moment, we'll go over there, and you might want to have your camera ready to shoot. And when you get over there and you take a close look, you're going to see it's not a pile of sand and shells. It's solid shells. The only sand in this mound is where the hurricane deposited that layer of sand and silt. The rest of it is solid shells. So I'm going to go over there, and I'm just going to take a quick look and see if I can spot any pottery shards. And if I can pick one up, I'll show it to you. So just be careful, don't get caught in those trees over there. And right here is the ancient campfire. Now, it's 99% oysters, but here and there you'll see some big clam shells, like there and there. Those are quahog clams. And this area right here is not a suitable place for clams. So the oysters came from right in this area, but the clams came from the barrier islands just a couple miles away. Aren't these beautiful, the prickly pear cactus flowers? All right, I'm going to cross over to the other side and get back into that calm area. I didn't hear half of what you said.
I said, imagine being allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, that would have been a death sentence for a Calusa.
Yes.
Yeah.
My other daughter is allergic to shellfish.
Oh boy, wow. Yeah, she wouldn't make it as a Calusa.
Not at all.
I mean, you look at this mound and you can just imagine the children. What are we having for breakfast, Mommy? We're having oysters.
Again.
Yeah. Well, what are we going to have for lunch? We're going to have oysters. Oh. Well, what about dinner?
Probably super fit.
Yeah. I mean, what for dinner? Oysters on the half shell. Oh.
And they probably ate them raw.
That could be. That could be. Quite possible. But, yeah, but, you know, the Calusa, they were hunter-gatherers. They did not grow any crops. They did eat some plant material. I actually have a variety of peppers. That's a wild Florida pepper that I found growing on one of the islands here in the 10,000 Islands.
Wow.
And I talked to the archaeologist, Dr. William Marquardt. I had assisted him on a dig. And I told him I had heard that he had been finding some dried peppers in the mounds. And I described this pepper that I found, and he said, that's it. That's the one.
Wow.
So I call it the Calusa pepper.
So you've been growing it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a hot little pepper. It's only about this long,
Uh-huh.
and, you know, in diameter, less than a 1/4 inch diameter. Between an 1/8 and 3/16 diameter.
Wow.
And hot. And you know how peppers grow hanging?
Uh-huh.
These grow upright.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I had kayaked to an island called Fakahatchee Island years ago with some friends, And one of my friends saw the plant and said, "Look at this, they look like little peppers." And I looked at it and I thought, well, yeah, kind of. And then I looked at the leaves and it had that characteristic kind of a heart shape. And I said, it looks like a pepper. And being an idiot, I picked one and took a bite. And I said, oh, it's a pepper.
It's a pepper. Dang.
So it's hot little pepper, but very flavorful. So they could spice up their meals, and there were other plants that they could eat, like the prickly pear for one.
Yeah.
Nopales. That's what the Mexicans call it. And
that's all over Arizona.
yeah. And I use it for making quesadillas. Yeah, it's good. And there are other plants that would either produce fruit or a vegetable that was edible. So, but they didn't plant and grow anything.
They just ate the oysters, basically.
Yeah, hunter-gatherers. They would eat fish and gators and manatees, but I don't like manatee because it tastes too much like bald eagle. I told you I got some bad guide jokes.
You do.
Yeah.
You do. That's a bad one.
Yeah, that's a bad one. Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue this way. And there's a little trail that I discovered a few years ago that leads to a hidden lake, and it's kind of fun to go through it.
Let's do it.
We're going, well, follow the guy in the gray shirt.
Oh, all right.
Okay. All right. So the daily incoming and outgoing tides flow through the mangroves, and they're hidden lakes, which is what we're about to go into here. And the passages that lead into them is where the water flows to fill the lake and to empty the lake. And that movement of water keeps these passageways clear. Yeah, this is the hidden lake. Not a freshwater lake. And here are the oysters.
Oh, wow.
And these are live oysters. The ones that are open a little bit are not alive, but the ones that are shut so tight that you can barely tell where you could open them, those are alive. And like I said, if you had any issues with bacteria infections, you would not want to be doing what I'm doing right here,
Yeah.
because this could be really bad for you. But
Just to be safe, I won't touch them.
okay. Yeah, they are sharp too. I mean, if you don't handle them carefully, it's easy to get cut on them. But yeah, that if you go over there and look down, you'll see oysters all over, raised up off of the bottom.
Oh.
So it's a little bit shallow right in here, so you can see the oysters. And with all those nooks and crannies, these oysters are perfect for harboring other kinds of life. So there will be crabs and shrimp and little fish like blennies and gobies and brittle sea stars, all kinds of interesting things living amongst the oysters. Yeah, and it's really these oysters and the mangroves that make this area so hospitable to fish. Tell you what, come on over and grab a hold of one of those roots to hold your position. So I wanted to give you a little sex education.
Okay.
Not that you need it.
Right.
But no, this is a very strange tree, the way it reproduces. It has a cute little flower about the size of a nickel. It's a little yellow and white star. And the flower gets pollinated, whether it's by wind or by insects, doesn't matter. After pollination, things get weird, okay? In the center of that tiny little flower is an even tinier little ovary. Just as you ladies both have two ovaries that hold eggs, in the flower, the one ovary makes one seed. And after pollination, the ovary swells up until it gets to be about the size of an acorn. And it even turns brown, kind of like an acorn. Well, here's the weird part. Inside of that swollen up ovary, it not only produces a seed, the seed sprouts and starts growing while it's inside the ovary. And it's still connected to mama, still being nourished, the same way that mama nourished you with the umbilical cord. Well, inside of this swollen up ovary, there's a baby tree still attached to mama and still being fed by mama. And the first thing that you see after the ovary swells up is you see this little green thing come out of the bottom of the ovary. And that's the first tap root of a little baby tree that's inside of that ovary. And as it's being fed by mama, that tap root gets bigger and bigger and bigger, as you can see all over here. And it finally can get to be a foot long and as big around as my little finger. And it becomes too heavy for the ovary to hold. So it breaks free of the ovary and falls into the water. Mama gives live birth to a living baby tree. And it doesn't look like a tree, but it is. It looks like a long green bean with a brown tip and a little nub on the other end. Well, that brown tip at the bottom is where the prop roots will come out. So after it falls into the water, because it's green, it can produce its own sugar while it's floating in the water. And eventually it gets stuck somewhere. So typically it'll either get stuck among the mangrove roots or it will get stuck on an oyster shoal. And once it gets stuck, it puts down roots. And once the roots are down, the little nub at the top of the we call it a propagule at this point, it starts to stretch out, and then you get the first pair of leaves. And then you get another pair, another pair, another pair, and here's what you get right here.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's a baby tree. That's where a propagule got stuck among the roots of another mangrove and started to grow. So that's a little baby tree on its own. So when I say it's a weird tree, it's weird first of all because it can live in salt water. Weird again because of the way it reproduces. It's a tree that gives live birth to a living baby.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
You know when the cold front hit this winter and it looked like all the leaves on the mangroves where we were died? Did that happen here?
Well, it's very rare to have that happen here because it doesn't usually get down to frost level here. But up by, like by Melbourne, frost is much more common. And it'll knock back the leaves, and it can actually even kill the trees, you know, if it's extreme enough and if it lasts long enough. So you don't typically see red mangroves much north of Tampa on the Gulf side or West Palm Beach on the Atlantic side. You know, north of there they start to peter out because of the cold.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, down here it's very rare to have a frost. It does occasionally happen.
It didn't get hit by the cold that we got then? It didn't get to that freezing temperature?
It got down to a frost level, but it was very brief. So it didn't kill the trees.
It killed a lot of trees up where we live.
Yeah.
Dead lizards everywhere.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or they'll go dormant and fall out of the trees. Yeah, I heard a story about one fellow that was collecting iguanas that were falling out of the trees, and he put them inside of his car. And of course he had, you know, the heater going in the car, and they woke up in his car, and it was crazy.
Pandemonium.
Yeah, pandemonium. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's the red mangrove, and the red mangrove is easy to tell because of these prop roots. There's also a black mangrove and a white mangrove, and they don't have the crop roots. They have other characteristics that define them, and they have other ways of dealing with the salt. The main way that they do it is by squeezing the salt out of the upper surface of the leaf.
Is what we have black or white?
Well,
like in Thousand Island?
I should be able to show you some white mangroves. If I spot one, I'll show you.
I mean, they look like this, but they're not red. You know what I mean? They don't have.
Well, the black and the white don't have the crop roots.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing roots like this, it's a red mangrove.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Yeah, the black and the white don't have that characteristic.
They must be red then, because there's the Thousand Islands and you go through and they have all these roots going down into the water.
Yeah, that would be red mangroves.
They must be.
Yeah. Yeah, the black
reddish.
has a different characteristic. Around the main trunk, they have what's called pneumatophores, which they're like pencil-sized projections that come upward from the root system above the soil. So when the soil is totally saturated with water, these come up above the water to give oxygen to the roots. So that's, you see that, it's a black mangrove. The white mangrove doesn't have that or the prop roots. The white mangrove has an oval shaped leaf that's slightly yellow-green, and it's glossy, and it has a short red stem. And on the red stem, right next to the leaf, you see two little green lumps with a pinhole in each one. And those are salt glands. So it'll squeeze salty water out of those two glands, and any salt that gets past those will be squeezed out of the upper surface of the leaf and blow away.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. The black mangrove doesn't have the salt glands, and it squeezes salt out of the upper surface, but its leaves are matte rather than glossy. So after the morning dew dries, you hold a black mangrove leaf up to the light and kind of tilt it, you can see sparkles like glitter, and it's salt.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can lick it and you can taste the sea salt.
That's cool.
Yeah. So 3 different mangroves and 3 different characteristics.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, all right, so let's continue on, and I'll look for, I don't think we're going to see any black mangroves here, but I think we'll see some white. So if I spot one, I'll grab, here, I better get out of here before you pull out, because the current's taking me.
Are we going?
We're going this way. There we go. If you do a backstroke on your right, that'll turn you. Forward on the left, back on the right. Yeah, there you go. Go forward into that little hollow, and then you can back up and turn. There you go. That's getting it. Back up. Okay, that's a white mangrove there.
Oh, okay.
You can see the slightly yellowish color of it.
Yeah.
And I'll pass this to you. And, you know, this is right side up. And if you look at it right side up, look at that reddish stem, and you see the two green lumps. And you look closely, you might even be able to see the little pinholes in those green lumps. And then you can also see how glossy the surface is. So when it extrudes the salt, it just blows off. It doesn't hang on to the salt the way the black mangrove does.
It has a waxy leaf.
Yeah, yeah. And a definite oval shape too.
Yeah.
Whereas the red mangrove, you know, has more of a diamond shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, yeah, if you're done with it, you can just put it in the water.
Oh, the water feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So here we go. This is the white mangrove here. Sometimes if you just drag your paddle on one side, that'll help you to steer your way through. Like if I want to turn a little bit to my right, I'll just drag my paddle like that and do a nice little curve. That's it, just like that. In just a little bit, when it opens up a bit, you look to the left and you'll see the mound.
Okay.
Okay, though the current is very slow over this way. It's a pretty little snail called the mangrove periwinkle.
Oh! It's a baby! Oh, it's so pretty.
Actually, that's full grown.
They're
Yeah.
tiny.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on the mangroves if you look closely. When the tide comes up and then goes down, it deposits all kinds of little bits of food on the mangrove roots. And that's what these guys are looking for. It's all those little bits of food.
Can they be in the water?
Yeah. If you give them a toss toward the mangroves, that'll be better for it, because they want to be on the mangroves. But you might also see some what looks like black spiders climbing up and down, and those are mangrove crabs.
Oh.
And they're doing the exact same thing. They're just picking up the little bits of detritus that gets deposited on the roots. Sometimes I'm able to catch some of the mangrove crabs. I'll see if I can grab one. Well, I'm not seeing them right here.
They bite?
Well, they pinch.